welcome to episode 1 of my approaches to songwriting. I'm going to take you from the very initial kernel of an idea to a fully fledged written and produced song and my approach to that. And over the next few weeks we're going to delve into different approaches to songwriting, where you might get your inspiration from, how to tackle things like writer's block. So to start with, I'm going to use a song called Ah Well, which was written in 2020, and here's a little snippet from it now.
Feels so right whenever you're around. Just to hear your voice is a joyful sound. I'd be sad if you went away. Smile over at me, make my day.
Having tried for years to write songs that I'm happy with, let alone members of the paying public, my top tip really is to write little and often. And what I mean by that is not to struggle, you have the seed of an idea, that creative spark that comes in, and to try and make sure that you write a little bit at a time, but every day. I think that certainly worked for me anyway. Since the pandemic, when I've concentrated much more on my songwriting over the last 2 to 3 years, to write little and often. Find a dedicated time to do this. Find a dedicated space to do this. I've got several spaces at home and in my home studio where I do this. I also have different techniques which I'm going to go through now. This is the corner of the kitchen where the ideas come to fruition if I'm not out on the road in my camper van, which is another place for inspiration out and about in the countryside. So little and often is my top tip to begin with. Also to record everything I do on the phone. So I've got short video clips, as you'll see as this story unfolds, with the odd riff, and then you'll hear the song starting to be constructed without even words to begin with sometimes. Just a riff, maybe a melody, and things that come and then eventually fall into place. Again, building on the blocks of little and often.
Smile over at me, make my day.
Also, keeping a notepad is something which I've found really, really useful, and making sure that the lyrics are there. As you can see the lyrics here, often words will be replaced randomly, but one word that is suddenly replaced can make the difference, I feel, between a half-baked idea and a really good convincing song. So again, for me, it is all about putting down an initial idea, being able to expand on that idea, but all the time coming back to it and finessing it. Now, at the end of this video, you'll see the fully produced, fully worked, self-produced, might add, all done in my home studio, of a song called Ah Well, which again, let's talk about titles for a minute, because it didn't start out as being called Ah Well. It was Smile Over at Me, Make My Day, which was a mouthful and also reminded me of Come Up and See Me, Make Me Smile, and it's nothing to do with that song. So I thought the title, Ah Well, suited it a lot better, and when you hear the song, hopefully you'll agree. So everything I do, everything I play, has to pass the acoustic test. So for me, if the song can be performed just with voice and one guitar, one instrument, and still hold people's attention, then it might be worthy of moving to my other room upstairs and putting on more instrumentation, drums, bass, piano, saxophones. If it doesn't hold up well enough on the acoustic, then it might not be something that I pursue. So I would always want to test a song out to see if it was going to make it around, the campfire or the acoustic session in my friend's kitchen. Can I play this song? Will it stand up to what people consider to be a good song just on the acoustic? And then I'll think about other instrumentation. And very often it doesn't need other instrumentation. And part of my motivation for writing some of these songs is that one day somebody else might want to take them on and give them a whole new life, in their own special way. And like I say, at the end of this video, you will see the fully produced version of Ah Well, which started out just like this, in this space, in this kitchen. Of course, there are other places around the house where I find inspiration when it's quiet enough. Certainly in the lounge area overlooking the garden is a great place for me to be able to sit and work through some of these ideas and get them to a point where I've got the full structure of a song. So from that initial idea, in this case, the song is about not an infatuation, that's too strong a word, about a crush really, and I'm putting myself into somebody else's position whereby they see this person that they really quite like and would like to get to know better, but they've no idea how to approach it, and that person doesn't really even recognise them, see them in the street or in the cafe or in the marketplace, the supermarket. This is about that guy that really wants to sort of pluck up the courage, if you like, to speak to that girl. Hence the title, Ah Well, maybe it wasn't meant to be. So following on in that theme, putting yourself into someone else's shoes as to how this story unfolds. Lyrically, it's not straightforward. There's quite a lot of words to cram into the lines. Even that has an impact on how the song is perceived from the listener, because it kind of evokes the frustration from the person telling the story, that it feels so right whenever you're around just to hear your voice is a joyful sound. It's not straightforward rhyming, but that in a way is intentional and adds to the confusion of the story, to the frustration of the storyteller, that it's not a straightforward love song. Only when the song is ready and kind of worthy of it does it come up to the music room, where I've got quite a modest setup. Actually, I have invested in some decent quality microphones, and then through a little mixing desk and with Logic Pro software, I can start to record it professionally really, and listen back and decide whether or not it needs further instrumentation or whether it stays as an acoustic song, whether I want to add electric guitar or just stick with the acoustic, whether I want to add some bass, saxophones. So that's the next step for me, is to bring it into my music room and start to work on it as a proper song really, as a produced song with whistles and bells that go with it. Another top tip from me is to try to get to know the song kind of inside out really before recording it. And that might sound really obvious, but to try and play the song live a couple of times, see what the audience reaction is to it, to try and really make sure that you know every aspect of that song before putting it down to record. I have in the past recorded things that I haven't been 100% happy with, and if I'm not 100% happy with them, how can I expect the audience to be 100% happy? So play the song many, many, many times. I listen back to it many times as well, in the car, on headphones, on small speakers, on a better Bluetooth speaker. So I'm listening to it in many different environments, and all the time thinking, how does it compare to other songs that are like that? Is it unique in that it doesn't compare to other songs that are like that? So listening back to what you've produced and what you've done and playing it live, I think being able to play it live in front of an audience, or certainly in front of family and friends, to get some initial feedback and keep, again, finesse, finesse, finesse. So coming back to the first tip I gave, which is little and often, is something that I stand by. So I hope you will enjoy the finished version of Ah Well by Memphis D. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe because it helps me to grow the channel. It doesn't cost anything. And I'll be back soon with another episode of my approaches to songwriting. Thank you.
Feels so right whenever you're around. Just to hear your voice is a joyful sound. I'd be sad if you went away. Smile over at me, make my day. I'm not sleeping in my bed at night. Something's happened to my appetite. Only one thing can make it go away. Smile over at me, make my day. I've been running around in circles, just trying to bump into you. If only you felt the same way too. Oh well. No mystery, it just feels so right. I'll sing to you in my dreams tonight. I'm sure that I can find a way. Smile over at me, make my day. I've been running around in circles, trying to bump into you. If only you felt the same way too. Oh well. Help me piece it back together again. I haven't felt this way since I was 10. I don't listen what the others say. Smile.